Hello, everyone. How is everybody doing? I got some, let's see. How's everybody doing? How is everybody doing? Let's see. It's a few people up in here already. I came on a little early because I'm going to have to help her to log in. I was kind of helping her earlier. I put my little food on. Let's see. I see Black Barbie, Tierney, Anissa, Kimberly, and Kenny. Something is going on where they are not sending out my notifications. Okay. But I'm not going to cry about it. Okay. Tonight I have a guest that is coming on the show. Okay. I'm okay. I should be happy, but I guess I took a test tonight. Right before I got on, I just finished my test. I thought for sure I made 100. I missed one. So I'm disappointed in that. Here she is right here. Hello? Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, that was her. She's getting ready to get on. So now we're going to have a former Memphis police officer on to discuss her book. And it's funny because she talked about her book. She's telling she put in her book. She's telling the story of addiction and she's going to talk a little bit about of how she grew up and her time with MPD, but definitely and what she's doing now to help people that have a type of addiction that she had. Now, when we talk about addictions, because she had like a 30-something year career with MPD, she was on the first 48. Okay, she's appeared on the first 48. When she and I first became friends, she was working. She was sitting on the desk. She was pregnant. She was working in felony response. Okay. And then after that, she went on to homicide. After that, she went on to, I believe she worked in motors. She was promoted to lieutenant. Hey, Yam, and all of that good stuff. And we're going to have her on tonight. And I'm going to give you all the opportunity. Those that donate to the channel, when after I interview her, you all will get the opportunity to ask her. I will highlight you all's questions. Okay. Now, let me just say this. She's retired. She's been retired now for a couple years. I know a lot of people might feel a certain way about MPD, but here's the thing: she was an employee at MPD. I think it would be good to understand that she is a person that just happens to be a police officer, right? I think people kind of put a label on all police officers and they don't understand that everybody is different. Everybody is a their own individual, okay? We all have jobs. If somebody is doing something on the job that they shouldn't be doing, we can't expect for folks to put that jacket on our back just because a coworker may have been doing something. But anyways, y'all, they have totally shadow banned me. I'm trying to figure out how they did that. Anyways, you guys, I see her in my backstage, okay? And I am getting ready to let her up, okay? And I am going to introduce her. Her name is Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How you doing, Tamara?
I'm doing extremely well. We're glad to have you on tonight.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be a part.
I like that green. You know, green is one of my favorite colors. They say it draws money to you.
Yes, ma'am. Exactly. It's live.
So, how you doing, Miss Sharon?
I'm good, Miss Tamara. I'm so grateful, honey. I just thank God for you, and I'm just elated. I mean, my heart is just full right about now.
Okay. Well, tonight we're going to talk about your book, Quit the Money Pit. Okay. And
Okay.
before we get in to that, we always do the lighthearted stuff first. I want for you to tell the audience, I'm going to ask you a little bit about yourself, your upbringing and all of that. Give us a little bit of your background. So, where did you grow up at?
Okay, I grew up in North Memphis off of Chelsea Street on Bethel Avenue. I attended Grant Elementary School, which is closed, long gone now. And then I left there. We moved to further north off of Springdale, and I grew up on Ramona Street. And I attended Snowden middle school. I'm sorry. And then I went to Cypress, and after Cypress, I was bused to Treadwell High School.
Okay. And you graduated from Treadwell High School.
I did, and also I graduated from at that time it was Southwest Community College,
Mm-hmm.
and attended Lemoyne on.
Okay. And so, did you shortly after that? Well, you went to the police department right after graduating high school, didn't you?
Yes, I joined Memphis Police Department when I was 19 years old. I was accepted into what they call the PST program, which
Mm-hmm.
was a police service technician where you handle traffic accidents. And then I went from there to being a commissioned law enforcement officer.
Okay. And how was your years on? How long were you on the department for?
Almost 30.
Okay. And how would you say, was it a rewarding career for you?
Exactly, it was. I rose to the rank of lieutenant before I actually retired.
Mm-hmm. And
And
so you retired, and that brings us to where we are now. Now, what we're getting ready to get into now. Now, let me ask you this: how has your retirement been for you?
it's been good. I'm still doing that public service thing that I can't seem to let go. I love helping people, and I just took my journey even further. Now I'm a school resource officer.
Okay, all right, and then you decided to write a book, "Quit the Money Pit."
Yes, ma'am.
Now, tell me what made you decide to write this book.
Sure. So about 7 years ago, I was inspired by God of Israel to write the book. And I would pick the content up, put it down, pick it up, put it down. And through that time, I said, Lord, I got to get this book done because he just won't leave me alone. And once I got it completed and I got to like chapter 10, I'm going, you know what, Lord? I know why you wouldn't leave me alone. This was my purpose.
Okay. Now, inside of this book, and I'm pulling it up. I'm gonna pull it up and put it on the screen as we speak.
Okay.
Inside of this book, you shared a lot of personal things, and we talk about like different types of addictions. Uh, what type of would you say that you had an addiction?
I did, and it was gambling.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely. My background, I grew up, just playing cards, sitting around the table, and it was like a normal way of life for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I just did it for so long until one day I just got tired. I couldn't do it anymore.
Mm-hmm. And so speaking about what made you want to speak about and share your journey of addiction.
Sure. So during my tenure on the police department, it was a hidden secret. You suffer in silence. I just never really reached out to anyone about it. I just happened to manage the work part and manage the addiction too as well. And it's very hurtful, it's shameful, but you have to come to terms with yourself. Do you want to continue this path? And I answered my own question. I asked myself one day, were you born to be an addict? And sure, I wasn't. God didn't create me to be an addict.
And it's something, Sharon, because I remember when we were working in felony response. Remember that's where we met at.
Yes,
In
ma'am.
felony response. You was pregnant with Zion, and I had just had my baby. And hey, would you say that maybe it started to get deeper in it? Because we used to go to the casino. Remember that time we called ourselves help that guy. Remember we got him a hotel. They came into the police department. Remember they came into the police department. We got Major Brown to let us get the police car, and you helped them and gave them a hotel because they had a child, didn't have anywhere to go. And you was like,
Right.
well, I got some points on my card. And so we took them there. They went down to the hotel and you gave them a room. That was really kind. You was always very giving. And then girl, we played at the damn casino.
Yes, we did. And look, remember I got them food as well.
Yeah.
And what's really rewarding behind all that, they sent us a postcard once they made it back home, and I thought
Oh
that was
wow.
thoughtful. Yeah, but that
Wow.
place is something else, honey. It is something serious, and I just pray that people will wake up. And one thing about a gambler, you the last somebody to tell you, say, "Oh, I don't have no problem. I just like going to the casino." You make
Mhm.
up all these excuses, but oh no, ma'am. But I do remember, Tamara, yeah, all our experiences.
I know it. Now, Sharon, how much money would you say? Because I mean, when you was working for the police department, you were making a really good living, especially when overtime was just readily available to police officers. How much? But I mean, you had other things going on outside of that because you were also my hairstylist. You were a beautician. Always had your own shop. Um, and you just had other ways of you had other avenues of making money, so you always had access to quite a bit of money. How much money would you say you think that you have left down in Tunica?
Over my lifetime, I would say millions with the S.
Mhm,
Because many times on the police department, I always made right at 100,000, maybe, a little over 100,000, like you said, because I did work a lot of overtime at the time.
mhm.
And after my son was born, I kind of eased up a little, but when you do that, you go harder.
Yeah,
So I, I went
yeah.
harder. And it's so many pitfalls, and it's
Mm-hmm.
so hurtful. And I'm saying this from the depths of my heart to your listeners. Please hear me. Um, you lose a lot of things. It's not just money either. You lose your peace, you lose your rest. You can lose relationships, you lose family, you can lose friends. It's just so many losses. And all of those things you can't even get back. Like you didn't go to weddings or parties or, family gatherings because your main focus was to chase that money. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just crazy. It's a hidden how did I classify it? It was like it's a hidden attraction. You can't even put your hand to it, your finger to it. All
Mm-hmm.
you know is chase, 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 and you look around and everybody in there just chasing.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you and I were talking earlier, you said you equated it to being equivalent like a drug addict. What they do is they chase that first high. They get addicted because they chase that first high that they got the first time that they hit the crack pipe or whatever. And it's equivalent because you might go to the casino because it's a lot of trickery when you're gambling. You might go down there and they might let you win 20,000, you
Right.
know and then hey, you feel like I won 20,000, and then if you ain't careful, you'll sit there and put it all back in the machine because you feel like you could get more. It's like you're chasing, I don't know, you're chasing that all over again, or you're chasing more or something.
It's a mysterious high. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
was trying to say. And I have won 20,000 at one time, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I would go back, I get that 20 back plus 20. And I'm going, you fool. You talk to yourself and you beat up on yourself. And man, I just couldn't do it no more. And I've lost so much money. But the most rewarding thing is for me is that I help myself first. And then I say, you know what? I just want to help other people because I don't want them to experience what I experienced because you just gonna keep going. But if you have somebody, and I had people telling me, you just quit going so much. And I made all kind of excuses, honey. I was like, huh, in one ear and out the other. I was gone. No sooner I get off work, I head down there, stay
Sure
all
did.
night,
Because we
call
used to
off
get off
work.
at 11.
So
You and
it
your
was just
brother was getting off and going.
exactly, and it was just that chase thing, honey, all the time. And even if I would say one big, it still wasn't enough
Mm-hmm.
because of the lifetime losses. I can recall one time, I think I had taken maybe 5,000 because I've always been a high limit player. And I fed this machine literally $5,000 within
Wow.
30 minutes. And when I tell you I got nothing, and I went home, came back with another 5,000. How crazy is that? But that's that addiction. And at the time that chase is going on, you're not thinking about anything else but retrieving that money that you lost. But remember the key word, you lost it, right? It's not coming back.
So, Sharon, what were you playing? Dollars?
No, ma'am. I would play. Well, I had a favorite machine initially. It was the called the Blazing Sevens. Those were like dollars, $5. Is the most on the max on those. And I got so tired of losing on the slots. I said, well, let me try the table games. So I started playing blackjack, and by me switching the game, I said, okay, well, maybe I can manage my money a little bit better on the table. And it was just as bad. Gambling is gambling. I don't care what form it is. Just stop. Just quit while you're ahead because if you don't, a lot of consequences.
What are some of the horrific things that you've witnessed when you were down there and you've seen other people that were addicted to
Oh,
gambling.
right. So in one section of my book, I talk about seeing myself in others.
Mm-hmm.
And I would see where people would just look so downtrodden and brokenhearted and, put their last money in and then they come sit under you and tell you the story. And, you're like, oh, I wish you get away. And it was kind of, that was a bad experience, just the emotions. But the worst thing I ever saw was this gentleman. He was in it. Like I said, I played high limits a lot. He was in the high limit section, and he had won like $250,000 in like 30 minutes, maybe 45 at the most. Everything he touched turned to gold. So his wife kept saying, "Come on, honey, let's go, let's go." He like, "No, wait, wait. I'm gonna play a little more." And honey, that man stayed too long. He gave all that 250 back plus whatever he had, which I don't know, but I definitely knew about the is you don't know whether it's winnings or not, right? And we got ready to go, myself and my aunt, and we walked out on the parking lot, and that man had blown his brains out, and that was enough to scare me right there. But being a police officer, you see so much, you it's like you're immune to trauma, right? So I kind of,
Yeah.
it spooked me, so I didn't go for like a month or two, and then there it was that cycle again. But
Mm-hmm.
that was the worst, and I saw a couple of people fall off the stool and die. I guess the stress caused a heart attack or something. The
Yeah.
ambulance scooped them up, and yeah.
And when you say that there were a lot of losses, though you talk about the money, but what other kind of losses that you what when I know you got to talk about the people, like what other types of losses do you take when you are addicted to gambling?
Yeah, you first of all, your rest is everything. And you start to and I'll tell you what my bottom was and why I stopped too. But when it goes to affecting your health, because it's so stressful. You just losing money, and then it's a teaser. You might go back. Oh, okay, I got some back, and then just it's just horrible. But your health is number one. And I've lost a few relationships, but it's okay. I wouldn't be who I am today. But
Right.
but I'm grateful for my husband. He stood in my corner. He never judged me or put me down. So that was important, to
Mm-hmm.
me. But when I would see the pain in his face from me just doing what I was doing, I was like, man, no, this is hard. So my last experience, I was just trembling on the inside my body, like I was about to stroke out. And I said, no, this is it.
So
So
how much had you lost at your last experience? How much was that to make you b- go into that phase of trembling and panicking?
right. I didn't lose but maybe a few thousand, but it was just that I was tired of it. I had already set in my mind on my way that, oh, you're gonna lose anyway. That kind
Mhm.
of thing. It's like the bad streak was just on you. And my father used to always say, well, you just gotta keep going till you fall off the slump. Well, you fall off the slump for sure.
Mhm.
So that was it. I just couldn't give him anything else. I refused.
Now, after that day, did you get yourself some help, or what did you do to keep from going back? I know you said that was the final, like that was it. But was there anything that you had to do to keep yourself from going back?
Yeah, what I did, when you asked what did I do, so I called a close friend. I mentioned her in my book too. She was a colonel on the police department, Mary
Hmm.
Newsom. And I called my
Yeah.
friend. I said, Mary, I said, sister, I can't take it no more. I'm tired. And I told her that I wanted to, to go talk to somebody, reach
Yeah.
out. And I did reach out. And also on the department, I dealt with Dr. Ray Turner. I put him in my book too, but I was never all the way honest with him about what was really going on. But the underlying issue was the gambling. But I still had, different stressors. And I just built myself a team, by reaching out, and I self-excluded myself. I did that too. So for
Mhm.
those who don't have that will to just stay away, because you can assure yourself, because if you self-exclude and you go, they will arrest you if you go back down there for trespassing. But
Mhm.
I had stopped many times, year at a time, and I just decided that I'm not going back there.
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm. And now you, like I said, you've written your book and you're getting ready to and now you're doing other things such as helping other people. Tell us about that.
Yes, ma'am. So I'm starting free classes next month at Geisman Community Center. It's going to be every Thursday from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. It's a 4-week course. The class is free. All I ask is that you purchase the workbook, and the workbook is not but like $15. But I promise you, it will do you a world of good because it did for me. So if I can walk that journey and tell others what helped me, then I want to do the same for them.
Now, where is Guy? Is that in North Memphis?
It's
Guys.
on Macon.
Okay.
Yeah, on Macon. I'm sorry. I think it's 3221 Macon.
Okay.
I'm not mistaken. Yes, ma'am. But the classes will start the first Thursday in March. Because of the book signing. I wanted to do that first.
But you're having a book. You're launching your book. Tell us about that. You're having a book
Sure.
launch.
Yes, ma'am. So initially, I was supposed to have the book signing back in December, but there was some delays with the books, and then the bad weather came. See, when you know you're doing something good and positive, it
Yeah.
keeps getting delayed but never denied. And
Right.
God knew the perfect timing, so it will be this Saturday, February the 21st, from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. at Street Ministries, and we're gonna have a comedian, DJ. It's just a time for celebration. Come
Yeah.
out and we share our, experiences and everything, food, and if people have the book already, I don't know. Some may not. It's available on Amazon. They could purchase the book. If not, you can get it at the book signing, and the cost will be $50 for those who don't have their books. But for those who do have their books, it's $30.
I'm pulling it up on Amazon right now,
Okay.
so people will know where to um go and purchase it from.
Yes, ma'am. And that's why I'm giving my time back. Because, like I said, it's so hurtful, and I say this from the depths of my heart. And it takes courage to admit that you literally have a problem. It takes a lot of courage.
That's it on the screen. Can you see it?
I can.
Okay. You all, that's it on the screen. Make sure you all go in and support. You can get it on Kindle for um 9.99, or you can get the paperback. You can order it for $20 on Amazon, or you can come out to, now your book launching is for everybody, right? Anybody
Yes,
can.
ma'am.
Yeah, okay.
Anyone can come.
Mm-hmm. Or you can go and get a copy signed, you know, by her at her book launch, and make sure you all go come out and support Sharon. Now, Sharon, do you feel like even after all of the money that you've lost, and I mean the experience, like if you had to do it all, do you think that it was all, everything that happened, do you think it was all for a reason to get you to where you are now?
Yes, ma'am. Everyone has a purpose in life, right? And
Mm-hmm.
we have to pray to the good Lord and find out what their purpose is. And I kept failing the test. You know how you study for a test and you ready, you think you're ready, and you go in there, you fail. So I kept repeating the same old thing. And like I said, the Lord just kept speaking to me and wouldn't let me have any peace until I got that book done. And I just feel so much better, and I'm more at peace with myself. But I don't regret anything because to me it was already written. I just had to
Put
walk
it on
that
paper.
journey. Right.
Hmm.
I had to go through that journey, and it's okay though. I wouldn't be who I am today, you know.
What does freedom look like to you now?
Knowing that you can get up in the morning, be grateful that you rose, that you don't have any waste on your mind,
Mhm.
any time wasted. Just being more fruitful about yourself and imparting yourself in things that's going to make a difference, a positive difference in your life, and that will help others. That's what it's all about for me at this point.
Well, that's a blessing. That is a blessing. I mean, you spent really 30 years, really your whole life basically helping people. Because
Yes,
even
ma'am.
even when you were on the police department, you were one of those ones that like to help people, you
I
know.
did. I did.
Mhm.
I did everything I could, and I would always listen, and I'm still that way today. I always want to help, and just pour myself out, to people, and just try to turn things around for them. I counsel youth, and actually I work in a middle school right now, and
Mhm.
I, talk to my children there, and just try to stress to them, the importance of just being yourself. And it's okay, and if you got little issues going on, it's always someone out there that can help you, reach out to people, reach out to someone. Don't just, and see, I walked around with this by myself, I
Mhm.
hid it all behind the badge, and I would, walk into people homes, and I saw their problems. I get back in that squad car, I be like, you can't even fix your fix your own problems. What are you doing here? And I and I used to, and I was a great counselor. That's what's
Yeah.
so funny about the whole thing. And I'm not making this up because you actually witnessed a
Yeah,
lot of things
I
that I
did.
did. You
Yeah.
remember the real estate attorney that tried to poison his wife for money?
Yeah.
And I had
Yeah.
that poor little lady, and ooh, we almost cried together. It was just sad, and
Yeah.
I just have a deep love for
It's
people,
funny you
period.
said that. I spoke about that the other day about that real estate. Her hair started. He was trying to. Her hair started falling, and she didn't even know he was
Yeah,
poisoning her.
that's what hurt me so bad. Her hair was so thin, I could see, right through her scalp. I
Yeah,
mean, the hair was just gone. And poor lady, and he was in a relationship.
with
That's just so
somebody else
bogus.
instead of just divorcing his wife. He had actually, I think that he called up there to Crime Stoppers because he had tried to
Right.
get a he had tried to get a friend to kill her, and
Yeah.
the friend ended up ratting on him, as they say. He called Crime Stoppers to tell him.
Yeah.
She said that she noticed her hair started falling out. I guess he wasn't giving her enough poison. He said, because remember I typed the statement. He was like, I was giving her poison, and
Yeah.
she wasn't dying.
And he was gonna pay the hitman 500,000. Remember, which was
Yeah,
Miguel, the undercover officer, and
just
he
so
had,
he could be with his mistress.
yeah, and he had 250,000 in the bag. Remember, they got the money from.
Yeah, Miguel and them cover. Yeah, Miguel and Holly. Oh my God. And you know what, Sharon? I bet he ain't even in jail.
No, powerful, rich people,
Yeah,
they're treated differently, and I'm a piggyback and match that to the gambling thing. Gambling is not for the working class. It's just not. I was working class, but you really got to have big money. I'm gonna say people like sports people. I used to see Michael Jordan at the casino playing blackjack, and you
really?
all know
In
his
Tampa?
story. Yes, ma'am. They used to fly me in. You know, when you're a high road, I told you I played with the best of them.
Yeah.
And they will fly people in that who were of status. And I want to share another experience too, right quickly. I walked in the high limit room one night at Ghost, right? Because I used to play with some, like I said, some really big players. And when I walked in, the guy, James, goes, "Hey, Sharon, take this $5,000 chip and bet it." I said, okay. So the dealer was like, hold on. And he's like, "No, I can do that." So the pit boss came over and it was like five play because the table was full with five people. And somehow that dealer just had some bad energy. And I wasn't superstitious of anything, but that should have been the day I quit, and that's some years ago. But he gave me the chip and he said, "If you win, give me the 5,000 back and you keep 5,000, right?" I said, "Sure." So the dealer with all this bad energy, dealing the hands, everybody won the hand but me. I had 17, she had 18. I was like, man, and then jealousy is something else too. We
Oh,
are
for
something
sure.
else as a people. And I just felt like she did all of that because, y'all know how it goes. And I should have never walked back in there, never another day. Somebody give you 5,000 and tell you to bet because you can't just take their money away. I
Right.
wanted to break it down, and bet 1,000 a hand or something. He said, "No, bet them." And girl, everybody got paid with me. And
Wow.
everybody walked away with a lot of money. I was thrown off after that point. I couldn't even, it traumatized me. I went to questioning myself, you
Well, you
know?
know what? Sometimes things start to happen when to get you fed up. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Because if you had been
yes.
constantly winning and stuff, if you had been winning more, even though you lost a lot, if you had been winning a little bit more, you probably wouldn't have got fed up. It just had to happen like that.
It did, and it was hurtful, but I'm okay, sister, and I'm so glad. But you know
Mhm.
how we sit up there and talk about that place I come
Girl,
in
we
some
had a damn
days.
slot machine on the computer.
You'll be like, "You okay, girl? I better went to the casino some days." And come in there, sitting up there, knowing I lost about 3 or 4 thousand. I couldn't even focus at work.
Yeah.
It
I
was just
remember, and
crazy.
then get off at 11 and your brother would call you. Rest in peace to your brother, but that when
Yeah,
he would call
thank
you, y'all
you.
would go on back down there again.
Yes, ma'am. I dedicated my book to him. He was like my hero too. He would be so proud if he was here, to see this. Because I told him, my brother, I have four older brothers. I was the only girl and the baby. And I told him that I was writing my book. I even sat down with him maybe 5 years ago and was just telling him how tired of it I was and
Mm-hmm.
how I was just couldn't, just didn't want to do it. And we had some very good, memorable moments. Uh,
Yeah.
it was still some good that I could extract just being with my family, with my brother and brothers, and just had fun. But at the end of the day, I didn't know how to go and just have fun. It was always serious to me.
Because it was so much money at stake.
It was, and people used to be like, "Hey, Miss Sharon," and I'm all dressed up and but on the inside, I was looking good on the outside, but it was turmoil on the inside.
Yeah.
And it was just, and then I put another section in my book called a satanic atmosphere. And
Mm-hmm.
it definitely is a satanic atmosphere.
Oh,
The music,
absolutely.
right? The music, the lights. And what
No
irritates
clocks.
me, huh?
No clocks on the wall. They want you to do it
No, no,
all
ma'am.
of
No,
time.
no. And what irritated me so is when a guy tried to come up and flirt. I'm like, you don't get away from me. I'm here for money. I'm not here to talk to you. Then you have those that try to proposition you too. I'm like, I must
Yeah.
be here too much for somebody to get some nerve like that.
And
But
talk about that, what we were talking about earlier about what other young ladies that you saw that had addictions and what they were doing, you
yes, ma'am. I know of several, and I can, God knows I'm speaking the truth. I've never done anything like that. Plus, I have a husband, even if I didn't,
know.
But
Hmm.
this young lady had it so bad. Where she messed up, she took like $200 and ran it up to $100,000. For those who know about blackjack, it can be easily done if the cards running in your favor. And she got down so bad because I guess she thought she could continue that path. And she would just sit around the table in the high limit room, and she would flirt with these guys, go up to their room, sell herself off to them and come back down with maybe $500. I'm like, you need to take that money and go home. She'll sit right there and gamble it and lose it and go look for another victim. That's what I call them.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, and another young lady did the same thing. She kind of, I think she got maybe 15 or 20,000 out this guy. And honey, I hurry up and moved from that table and left because I am not a part of this.
I know that's right.
You're not gonna come looking for me. But yeah, it was sad, 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 sad. And then my luck was so bad. People like, oh, Miss Sherry, you just cannot win. I don't understand. They used to tell me that all the time, the dealers, because I
Hmm.
tip them. Even when I was losing, I was, tipping them. But they were like, I ain't never seen nothing like this. And see, that was just God telling me the whole time, this is not for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I hope I help somebody.
You
If I
are, and
don't,
you're gonna have people, like you said, there are people that have a, especially it's easy to have a, because I think now, even with the lottery, a lot of people have addictions with that lottery. They'll go and spend every dime they got on Fridays on a lottery ticket.
yeah, and that's no good either. And then I'm gonna tell you something else. They just passed a bill down in Mississippi because I try to keep up with things going on with the gambling things.
Hmm.
And if you hit a jackpot and you owe child support, they're going to take the money.
Wow.
And then Trump passed a law where you have to you're taxed on your winnings and your loss. Make it make
What?
sense.
Now that don't
Yes.
make no sense. You lose money and you got to pay to lose your money.
Yes, ma'am. I posted it on my Facebook page. I'll make sure I give your audience my information. But
Okay.
yes, ma'am, you have to pay taxes on your losses and your winnings. And I also posted some on there about Las Vegas, how their business is just dwindling down. People, it's the economy is bad too. That's a bad time to gamble as well. I mean, you shouldn't do it, period, but they're on the take. It's no money circulating,
No, it's not.
you
It's not.
know. Yeah. And
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 it
I
could be the reason why, because I think they said down in Tunica, quite a
Mhm.
few of those casinos have shut down, but they shut them down and then open them back up under another darn name.
Yeah, I think the one that got me started was Splash. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's the one that got everybody addicted.
Yeah, I talk about it in my book as well. And they would, by me being an officer at that time, they would let first responders in free. And I also had a brother that was a firefighter. So
Hmm.
he didn't have to pay either. We didn't have to stand in line. They treated us like VIP, right?
Because when the casinos first opened up, you had to pay to get in, didn't you?
Yes, it was $10, but I never had
Yes.
to pay because of my work status.
Hmm.
And I that was crazy there too. Two women was fighting over a machine. Did I told you about that, didn't I? When the two
No.
ladies, yeah, they want this my machine. No, this my machine.
Fighting
My
over who
brother
gonna
who
lose
we
that
talking
money, huh?
Yeah, my brother who we talking about, he had some guests. some in-laws in from out of town. So, we took them down there, and his in-law was one of the ladies fighting over the machine with the other lady. I was so embarrassed. I'm like, all these machines in here. But people they have their favorite whatever, right? That they like to put their money into, and it's terrible. It's just horrible, but I don't regret a thing. I don't. It was just a lesson learned, and a lesson, and a well bought lesson, you know. But I feel good. I don't worry about it. I don't even think about
Yeah,
it.
now it has turned into like I guess a mission for you, like you're on a mission now to help other people. You all, the name of her book is Quit the Money Pit. And like I said, I'm going to put it back up here. You can find it. That's it right there. You can order it on Amazon. And she also has a YouTube channel called Quit the Money Pit. Okay. And she's going to start just like she's doing classes. Okay, just like she's doing classes, the 4 week. Tell them about the classes again for those that just came in, Sharon.
Yes, ma'am. It's a 4-week course, and it'll start the first Thursday in March. I'm sorry I don't have the date before me, but it's from 6:30 to 7:30. It's an hour. The class is free. All I ask is that you purchase the workbook, and the workbook is not but like $15. And it's a month course, and
And
it,
tell
it
them about
holds you.
what's gonna happen in that class. Just a
Okay,
general.
so sure. So what's going to happen is in the class is that we're going to identify, the things, let you realize that you do have an addiction, right? And
Mm-hmm.
we're going to face it. And then I have literature in there that'll help you get to that point. And then it's going to hold you accountable. You're going to log, do journaling, and you're going to talk about how you feel, just different things, but it's really helpful, and reflections, and just think about how much more you could have, if you didn't do that, if you didn't engage in it. And then you want to build wealth, for your generational wealth,
Yeah.
because all that money could go to your family, friends, or your community, for that matter,
Mm-hmm.
to be more of a donor to it than the darn casino. But I want to reiterate, it's really not even worth doing it. You got to pay taxes on the losses too now. That's kind of crazy,
Yeah.
and then you taking your hard-earned money. And I'm gonna flip this. And my dad, he said something else funny too. He used to say, because I always used to say, "Well, Dad, I'm going to double my money." He said, "Well, I tell you how to double your money. You just fold it and put it in your pocket." And if I had a just done that, I'd have been better off. But I don't have any regrets. I'm free, honey. I'm free. I'm free. And I want others to be free. Now, I did fall, but I kept fighting until I finally got to where no, I'm not falling anymore. I got to realize all the pitfalls, and the little tricks. And like I said, if you're serious about stopping, then you can 86 yourself. And that means you're self-excluding for some people who may not even know what 86 mean. And if you go back on their property, you can be arrested. And I know Tunica has a 5-year time frame.
Now,
So
now, is that something you want to talk about on here, or is this you're gonna show them how to do that once they get into the class?
yeah, when they get into the class, I would
You'll talk.
direct them.
Okay.
I'll direct them on how to do that. And they're gonna have to, pick some people that they can trust and help them through this, because you can't, I'll tell you, just a journey that you're gonna have to have a team to help you with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, see, Sharon, when I told them last night that you was coming on here, because they a lot of these people, they're from everywhere, all over the United States, that come up in here. That's the good thing about YouTube. You get people from different states and cities and stuff. I said Sharon is one of the good officers. Okay, I try to tell them the majority of MPD is really pretty good. I think that a lot of people looked at that young Dolph case. And so when they looked at that young Dolph case, they kind of everybody had their opinions about stuff. I tried to tell them that some of those people that was involved in that case was not being upheld.
Right.
Everybody
Hmm.
has every dog has a day, and as my grandmother used to say, and a hound dog got two, so you never
That's
really
true.
get away.
That's true. And I used to work homicide, remember? And
Yeah,
I always advocated for the victim, and to prove that point, my mother was really ill, and I was praying. I said, Lord, just please let me at least identify the suspect, before I go, or get as much information as I could. And God answered my prayer. I got the suspect in custody. And I can't, because when you on leads, it's just kind of, you have to keep going, you know what I mean?
yeah.
And I made it to the house to see my mother, and she was laying in the bed, and she rose up and she said, I love you. I said, I love you too, Mom. And and God showed me that that would be the last time, and I walked away in tears. Of course, I wouldn't let her see me cry, but she
Hmm.
ended up passing, a little bit after that. But I had worked all that day trying to, find that suspect, and I
Hmm.
did. And also, I solved a murder with just a tennis shoe. One
Hmm.
time. Yeah, you remember that case?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was a very hard worker, very hard,
Yes,
and
you was.
I guess that's why I went hard with the gambling, huh?
Yeah, you're hard with the gambling.
But now I'm hard at it trying to help others, and
I was gonna
that's
say,
my
but now you're
stuff.
gonna go even harder helping others, and I think what you're doing um with this is an amazing thing, because like I say, a lot of people suffer in silence.
Yes,
They
ma'am.
are especially in our community, we become very ashamed. We've been told that we shouldn't try and get no help. We're supposed to just
Right.
suffer in silence. That's really like a generational curse in our community.
It is, and that's why I mentioned that it's a shameful thing, and it was funny how I can step in someone else's home and diffuse the situation, de-escalate the situation, and give them advice on, you do this and you do that, and then I go back to the car and I'm still sick, you know. And it is a sickness, and it's something that a pill can't cure. There is no medication for this. It's a mysterious addiction that you just can't really put your hands to. But when you really realize that you do have it, then it's things you can do to circumvent partaking in it. And also, Tamara, I'm linking up with Gambling Anonymous too. The director is going to be at my book signing as well.
That's
So
awesome.
partnering. Yes, ma'am. Because I'm serious about this. I'm partnering with them too. And I'll tell this story. When I've been to Gambling Anonymous as well, and when I was hearing the people's stories, I'm like, I don't have this problem. Like one man said he went to the bank and to cash a bad check, and the feds was waiting on him. I said, oh, I'm in the wrong place. Then this other guy, he was sports betting. I'm like, I don't sports bet, because that was before. This was like years ago, before they even do it now. And he lost his whole family. I'm like, nah, I ain't got that problem either, So you can't sit there and kind of compare yourself to someone else's situation, because the what's in the medium is the addiction, regardless of what it is, whether it's sports betting, whether it's writing bad checks, whether it's just engaging in it. I don't
Identity theft,
matter.
because people have an
Yes,
addiction to that
ma'am.
too.
You remember we had some high ranking people in the police department that got caught up.
What, right, with those identity thefts?
No, with like going down there writing bad
Right?
checks.
Yeah, well, writing bad checks at the casino.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. And honey, I used to be gone days at a time, but I always had clothes. And like I said, I was a high roller, so they always provided me with a room. You know, they try to give you the top tier everything, but all the time, girl, you just an agent for them.
Yeah.
And no. They can have their rooms, they can have the little nasty food. Now the food used to be good at
The
Splash.
seafood.
They had those big old steaks. You remember at the Splash? Girl, them things was big as your head.
I used to
And
like those. I used to like Fridays when they had seafood Friday, the lobster tails and stuff.
yeah, the seafood buffet. You're
Mhm.
right. But it's the quality, everything has gone down. It's just like I said, it's for people who don't mind like ball players and it's bad for them too
Yeah,
because they can get
because
caught up.
Jordan got in debt too, really, because he had a
Yes,
gambling
ma'am.
habit.
I watched the man sit there and play big, not putting his business out there, but I'm just talking that it doesn't matter who you are, whether you're a professional, whether you're working class, even people on fixed income. I used to hate to see them little elders down there, but guess what I used to do? Give them money, made it even worse.
Yeah,
Get a little senior. I'm just saying. I'm like,
yeah.
oh, yeah, no.
I
It's
want to give the audience a. I know you got to go. I want to give them the opportunity to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
sure.
Y'all can put some of the questions that you all want to ask Sharon um in the comments. The name of her book is Quit the Money Pit. Okay, the name of her YouTube channel is Quit the Money Pit. She's going to start uploading videos to help you all. Those that have addictions. So if you know anyone that may have an addiction, you all can route them to her channel. Make sure you all support her and get her book. Like I said, Sharon is a retired police lieutenant. Okay. She's even been on episodes of the first 48. I'm trying to think, Sharon, I think you was before Caroline because you were a sergeant before Caroline was.
right. Yeah, I was. It was Mason and Maybon, and
Yeah.
I had the case, I wore the hijabs and I had the case where the
Yeah.
guy was killed in the park.
Yes. I
Where
remember
the
that
young
because I
lady.
grew up with the girl Arizona.
Yes,
That was
ma'am.
the
Oh, we. She was something else. And that witness was funny too. But I got that case off. Sure
who
did,
was it?
honey.
It was so who? Because I didn't know what who did it.
It was a guy, and he he finally admitted that he killed the guy, but
No,
he
he
denied it
did.
for a
'Cause
long
he left him in
time.
that. He left him in that Alcy Park, right
Yes,
there.
she her name they called her Candy, remember? And she tricked him and pulling his pants down and stuff. That was just horrible.
Oh wow!
And they killed him and left him in the park.
Was it
That's
a
how they found
robbery?
him. Yeah, it was a homicide. It was a homicide, but they did rob him because he came into girl, this is no money. He came into a insurance settlement of probably about $3,000. And they killed him over that. But she had a drug addiction problem. So that's there again, addiction. People just do things they end up regretting. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's what that
Diane says,
was.
being a high roller, did you ever get any winning tips from any of the casino workers?
From the workers, did I get any tips from the workers? No. All they used to say was they couldn't understand why I couldn't win, but I would
Mhm.
tip them. But no, they wouldn't. It's all about luck, if you will, for
Mhm.
some people. But no, they didn't give out any tips because in terms like, well, you should stay this, don't hit that card, don't hit because you pretty
Yeah.
much have to know how to play.
Right.
But they would have good conversation for you though. You
Mhm.
sit there, laugh, and have fun.
Mhm. Okay. Thank you, Tyranny. Listen. Sh- Sharon, are you still there? Because she went black. Sharon, her phone might have rang because it knocked her off. Okay, you back on.
Yeah, that was my son calling in. I tried to dismiss it. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's right. I was telling them, I didn't tell them your son's name, but I was telling your son he still do a little rapping.
Yes, ma'am. Stana.
Son of Zay. And who was it that he was getting ready to sign with at one time?
Well, he was working with Sauce Walker, and he liked Young Dolph too, and
Mhm.
they were, kind of mingling a little, and he
Okay, so
ended
he was
up,
mingling with Young Dolph a little bit.
yes, and he ended up getting killed. He was actually his mentor. They did a story on my son in the news article, and
Uh-huh.
he talked about how Dolph was his mentor and everything. It was in a commercial appeal. But if I come back on your show again, I will make sure I pull that article up.
Okay, I want to ask you something.
Sure.
Since you brought that up, and Dolph being your son's mentor, did you ever meet Young Dolph? Because we talked about him a lot on this channel.
Right. He lived near us. I never did, but Zion did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we used to live where he grew up. We lived less than 2 miles, from
Yeah.
the area. Yeah, but Zion used to be over that way all the time.
Okay, so with you being a homicide detective, just even because you told me you used to be in the bushes of my show sometimes. What did you think about the direction that I was going in with this young dog thing?
You did a great job because I even tuned in on it. I was just disappointed with the whole situation. I think it's sad that young man had to, die that way. And but people can, put things together and make an analysis for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just horrible.
It was.
Horrible. And
It was.
my heart still goes out to the family, his children. People don't think about who all it affects. And back to the gambling thing one more time too. Not only is it affecting you, but you affect your whole family.
Mhm.
Yeah, everybody loses. And
Yeah,
now I'll swing back to the Dolph situation. But he was just a young man. He was self-made. He worked hard, and he put in the work. And it's just that it's an unfortunate situation.
it is definitely an unfortunate situation.
But
I
you did good. You kept me going because I kept tuning in. I
Well,
said, look
like,
at Tamara.
and look, let me
Yeah.
say that I used to have because I know you used to see me in here cussing folks out. They was coming in here. They wanted for me to be not credible so bad. You ain't never worked for the police department. She don't know no police officer. Who is your credible sources? I said, y'all got me effed up. You'll never know
Yes,
my
you
credible.
did. You remember you used to type them statements so
Yes,
fast. I know,
indeed.
oh, Tamara. I said, I'm going to get Tamara. And we worked together. We literally worked together.
Absolutely.
I did the questioning and you did the typing.
Yeah.
And so you do have experience. So for those who tried to discredit you, that's not true.
Well,
And
I I
you
think
learned a lot too just by,
I did.
sitting in. You could do interviews. You didn't need me because you already knew what I was gonna ask.
I already
and,
did.
and
Sometimes we'll be
yeah,
sitting up there in Crime Stoppers because like it got really busy. Like when a lot of times we get really, really busy at night. And as I was telling them, when I was working in felony response, because like I told you, when I first started out, when I first started the Memphis Police Department, I started out as a transcriptionist and I
yes.
was typing statements for the investigators. And what I tell people all the time is you were sitting up there with me. The news media used to call Sharon,
Mhm.
and if we didn't tell them anything, they would say we gotta, we get ready to go live. We'll have to fill in the blanks. That's the reason why I tell people, they get a lot of things right, but some things you might need to wait on because when there's a developing investigation, MPD can't give them any information, and so it may be correct or it may not be correct.
Yeah, they can't because they don't want to do anything to compromise,
Right.
the investigation. And you want it as, as pure as it can possibly be. And you remember that time that young lady, they wanted that young lady to set up Mayor Harrington
Yeah.
at the hotel.
Yeah. Oh my God. And I used to tell them like Hardaway and them when they used to have the FBI to Hardaway would get into it with the FBI. Hardaway would get into it. Hardaway would say, listen, when you come up here, I'm in charge. I was like,
Yeah.
oh Lord.
Yeah, we had some fun times, I tell you. Because we worked 4 to 12. That was
I
our
like Joe
shift.
Hardaway. Yes,
Me
we did.
too.
We had
I
a
think
lot of fun.
he's still on. I think he's down at the
Really?
yeah, I think he's still at Rain Station.
Lord have mercy.
Some of them are still there. But
I
honey,
think
I
they
moved
said now
on.
they put my auntie downtown. They put my auntie downtown with where Sherry is, I believe.
Yeah, I talked to her last week. She's supposed to be at the book signing.
With Sherry.
Yeah. So you have an aunt that's an officer?
Jackie. You remember I had two, and
Oh
Angie,
yeah, yeah.
Jackie,
Okay.
yeah,
I'm sorry about that. Yes,
yeah.
ma'am. Yeah.
And
Oh
then,
wow.
unfortunately, Angie was like right before, Jackie.
Right.
She ended up, I don't, she had, her daughter passed away because she went through the academy with me, and then Sheena ended up leaving. But when she had her last baby, she
Mm-hmm.
ended up, she died because
Oh
of the
wow.
afterbirth. Yeah, they didn't get all of the afterbirth after her.
Yeah.
So I think my auntie Angie just could not. It was she
Too
just couldn't.
much.
Yeah, it was too much for her.
Mm-hmm.
It was too much
Mm-hmm.
for her. And like a few months after Sheena passed away, my auntie passed away. But she was on the police. She was on the police department. She was out east, and
Okay.
so yeah. And Jackie is really gone up through the ranks. Jackie is a
Yeah.
promoted to major because yeah. So
Okay.
yeah,
That's
so
good.
Jackie's still doing her thing. She's still doing her thing, and I think my auntie got about maybe she might have 30 years in now.
Right. Right.
Hmm.
That's wonderful, honey.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good news. And I know Sherry, she's a major. Still.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Is she
Yeah.
talking about leaving anytime soon?
She once told me that maybe 3 years ago. She's still there. She is still there. I think they moved her over on Flicker Street.
Okay. Where they
Yeah.
take the cars to
Right.
impound.
She's over
Okay.
there. Mm-hmm. Yes,
So
ma'am.
Sharon, what would you like for the audience to? What would you like to say to the audience?
Well, first of all, I want to thank them for, taking their precious time out to listen, to the message. I just ask that you take it in. And even if you don't have an addiction, you may know someone who does. Just have enough courage, to encourage them or, refer them to the book because we all ministers, right? And we don't want to see people going through. That's my message. And just stay peaceful and stay healthy and let's just try to live a good, peaceful life.
You know who I thought about, Sharon? Is Captain Rosen still alive? Has he come across that special order yet? Because Captain Rosen was about 80 when he was up there with us.
I know I haven't heard much about him, but he was so nice, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Like, I think Major Brown may have moved to Florida.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think because his wife was a dispatcher, and
Okay.
he retired, and then she retired, and I think they moved to Florida shortly after, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Yeah,
I think
Robertson didn't bother nobody. He let us do
no,
whatever
he
we
didn't roll.
wanted
He
to.
didn't. He didn't. I got really curious about Lieutenant Anthony, and I was like, let me see what Lieutenant Anthony got going on because I know
Uh-huh.
Lieutenant Anthony just as old. Don't you know Lieutenant Anthony is still working? He does like training
Really?
Yeah, like he come, the FBI have him to come in, and he does some type of class for them.
Well, they always get certified and do little different stuff, but that's good. He was different, but he was nice,
He was different. I liked Anthony a lot. I
Yeah,
did. I
I
liked him
did
a lot.
too. He was just
He was hard on those. Some of those investigators didn't like him because he was like real paramilitary. Like he could be like
mm-hmm.
an ass sometimes. Because I would see him like when sometimes those sergeants would take a report to him, and he would get real like he would just be sometimes meddlesome. He would go, well, investigator, you didn't that's not right, and this report is not right. And then
Yeah.
he'll say, I know you're not going to need this report is not right, so I know you're not going to need it anymore, and tear it up and put it in to little bitty pieces and throw it in the garbage. Like,
Or red mark it up, one or the other.
he would do them like a dog sometimes.
They wanted to choke that man out, girl. They used to be so mad with him. And little Benya, you remember Benya, little short
Yeah, they
Benya?
used to like to look at the damn CKs. They said Benya was crazy because Benya was like he go work at the CKs because was it
What?
the Waffle House? No, he used to have CKs. He used to he said that's what he did for like to release stress from the police
Lord.
department. He liked to go cook at the damn CKs. Binion was crazy. Nobody could
Look.
stand him because he thought he knew everything. But he was,
Yeah, about 4 feet tall.
literally 4'11". He probably since we don't have CKs no more, he probably was cooking at the Waffle House.
Okay. But no, he actually works for Southwest Shelby State.
Binion does?
Yes, it used to be Shelby State. I'm sorry, but now it's Southwest. Yeah, he works as an officer over there on the.
Wow.
He works the overnight shift.
Well, that's where he was working at at CK's. I guess he had to get him an overnight shift somewhere. Lord have mercy.
I
But
know,
Benny was a
right?
good guy. We work with but you know what? We work with some of the best guys. Like those guys didn't
Yeah.
bother us. They does have our way.
Yes, yes, most definitely. I had a wonderful time.
Somebody was telling me Green was like, he think that Perry is working at the academy now.
He is. He's a background
I
investigator.
might call him one day and just speak to him. I happened to see Major Williams one day.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
happened to see him one day. I was like, look
Yeah.
at this, Major Williams. He still looked the same. Wayne Williams.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. I actually, his wife passed away.
What?
I used to do her hair when I was in the Southland, and yeah, she died. It's been
Really?
she
How
died
long
around
ago?
let's see here, around 2016, because their son was my son's coach, basketball
Wow.
coach.
Wayne.
Wayne.
Mm.
Zion still talk to him to this day. They
Oh my
still,
God.
yeah, but she passed away.
Well, she was a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Wayne Williams was real funny. Like I used to love working in Crime Stoppers with him because he was hilarious.
Yes,
And
he
so
was.
he I remember he was like his wife was a teacher down in Mississippi. I said, Major Williams, I said, well, they said that the teachers down in Mississippi don't make no money. I said, how much is your wife getting paid? He said, I don't know. She never make it past Tunica. I hollered.
Yes, that's true. She was a big one too, baby. Yes, she was. We used to talk about that all the time. Yeah, and she
Wow.
called. She said, "How much longer you gonna be, honey? Cause I gotta get down here down south." But one thing about it, she kept that hair done every week. Yes, she
And
did.
she knew Major Williams was gonna pay them bills.
Mm.
So she go pay her check. He said, I don't know how much she make as a teacher in Mississippi because she never make it past Tunica.
That is too funny. That's true though. She was yeah, she went all the time. And like I said, people that find themselves going all the time, or if you keep seeing somebody every time you go, that mean both of y'all there too
That
much.
absolutely,
Yes, ma'am.
absolutely.
Yeah, but I hope they close them places and
But it seems like they're slowly going down, though. They
uh,
closed Grand down a long time ago, and I
mhm.
don't think they don't have another casino up in there, do they? Did they just go ahead and tear the building down?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't been that way, but last I was told they closed the Sam's Town.
Yeah, they just closed Samtown down like
Mm-hmm.
late last year.
Yeah, that's the last I heard, but I'm gonna do some research, try to find some more casino issues. And like they said, it's going down in Vegas too as well. So if
But
they're
like
starting
you
to
said,
fall.
it ain't no money. People don't. There's not a lot of money circulating, and now
No.
people are having to decide about eating and medicines. You see that more
Mm-hmm.
and more people are developing ailments that is
Mm-hmm.
going up, and so insurance is not paying for everything. I mean, so the casinos are taking a hit
Yes,
because
ma'am.
people
And
don't have money to put in there.
they better stay away from cross that bridge too.
Yeah, they need to stay away from across the bridge because they making it more and more convenient because for a
What?
long time, Arkansas didn't even have a hotel.
Honey, they got everything now. They even have the Google Center they building over there. I guess to get their money to the employees because they gonna pay good money working for Google. And the mayor over there has done a lot of nice things, as far as infrastructure and having nice places and things to do. But it's a rip off. I'm telling you, it's all set. They wouldn't be in business if they weren't making money, right?
Right.
So you're gonna see what appears to you to be a win when that person may have lost like me the day before
Mhm.
and just getting, a little back. So you never really know the whole story until you just see somebody literally sitting. I've actually seen people just sit there and cry.
Yeah. And
You
another
know,
thing too, a lot of times when you walk into those casinos, you might walk in just as somebody is hitting a jackpot. You don't know how long that person has been there, just like you said. They might be just winning their money back.
mm, right. And I know it's set and crazy because they knew I would be the type that'll sit there and feed the machine. And one time I was, like I said, I should have just quit doing all these warnings. It's always warnings. And I played this machine, I know, all night long and most of the morning. I just finally got up and walked away. And don't you know, some guy came right up behind me. This happened many times and hit the jackpot for like 14,000.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. No sooner I walk away now. So I'm going,
It
and
makes you
how
think they control those machines sometimes.
something going on.
Hmm.
I can't prove it, but one thing I know for a fact is that it's no good. I definitely know
Hmm.
that.
The Black Barbie says online betting is basically taking over. That could be the reason why they are closing up because now people can sit at home and bet
Yeah,
and
that's true.
gamble, which is not good.
Well, they had a scam about that too now. The at home betting.
Hmm.
Um I'm trying to remember what state it was in, but they just locked up a lot of people. I gotta find that article, but it's a scam.
Oh
For
wow.
some, yeah, for some places now. And then, like I said, if you notice how these sports games end up, the final scores and stuff, it's rigged.
I would think that online betting is would be a in it illegal to be gambling. I would
Yes, yes. And then it depends on the state you're in, but like
think.
I
Mhm.
said, they just did a big. I wish I had have brought it on, but maybe another time. But they just arrested it was like a whole list of online betting places.
Oh
And
wow.
I can't remember exactly where it was, but we just have to value our dollar, you
She said,
know.
"Who Ron Perry? I don't know who Ron Perry is. The name sounds
Um,
familiar. Do you know Ron Perry?
Ron Perry. No, not right. Not at this moment.
Okay,
Ron
Tierney,
Perry.
who is Ron Perry? The name sound familiar, but I don't.
I don't know. And tell them to be careful with scratch offs too.
Okay, what's going on with the scratch offs?
A hoax. All of it's just a mess. You know, some people.
You can get addicted to that when you go into the gas station to get gas. You'll mess around to get those too. You spend a
I,
whole lot of money on scratch offs.
honey, I talked to a young lady because I was telling her about my book. This was maybe 2 months ago. She said she bought a $5 scratch off, won $500, and said she took it across the bridge and lost all of it. It ain't
Well,
funny, but she said I could have did something with it. I said, baby, look, leave it alone.
oh,
Yeah,
she said he's a police officer. The name do sound familiar, Ron
Ron
Perry.
Perry. It sounds familiar, but I retired in 2013. But it sounds familiar though.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Wow, I tell you. Well, Sharon, it's been a let's see how long because you gotta I know you gotta go.
Yes, ma'am.
I know you gotta go. I enjoyed having you on here.
I enjoyed it too, and I hope to come back soon. And let me, if you don't mind, have them to. I'm on Facebook too as well.
Okay, do you
Under
have is
Sharon
it Quit the
Sharon
Money?
Mayborn,
Okay,
huh?
Sharon Maybun on Facebook. Make sure you
Mm-hmm.
all go and you got everything as it relates to like your book and all that. Now, do
Yes,
you have a like page on
I
Facebook
do.
for your is it Quit the Money Pits?
My Facebook is on my name, under my name, but yeah, it'll also have in my profile, Quit the Money Pit. And I do postings every day.
Okay.
Yes,
Also,
ma'am.
don't you do you have a you said that you have a podcast?
Yes, ma'am. Quit the Money Pit. And I'm getting my dates together. I gotta set my calendar, between the classes, the YouTube and the podcast. But I will
Okay.
be posting that information on Facebook as well when I get ready to launch it.
Okay, before you go, tell them one more time about when your class. You said the first week of March you're going to start a 4-week class.
Yes, ma'am. The first Thursday in March, from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. It will be at Geisman Community Center, 3221 Macon. The
So that's
classes
March
are
the 5th. March the 5th.
okay, March 5th, and the classes are free. Only thing you have to do is purchase your workbook, which is about $15. And it's content in the workbook as well that will keep you focused and motivated.
Okay.
And the book signing is this Saturday at 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. at Street Ministries, 1304 North Graham, next to Kingsbury Middle School.
Okay. All right,
Yes, ma'am.
Sharon. Well, I appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate you loving, and it was so good to see you, Tamara, and talk to you. And I look forward to some more conversation.
So do I. So do
Yes,
I. It
ma'am.
was good catching up with you. I'll well enjoy the rest of your night, Sharon, and we'll be talking.
Okay, you do the same and keep up the good work.
Thank you, darling.
You're more than welcome. Good night,
Good
family.
night.
All right.
Shout out to Sharon for coming through and talking about her book. It's something because I remember when I can remember that she definitely went to the casino a lot. And she would go to the casino before she got to work, and she would go to the casino after she got off work. And believe it or not, I believe the addiction was just starting up. That's what I think. You're welcome, Joy Loves God. Because like she said, so many people suffer in silence. A lot of people suffer in silence. They don't really want to talk about um they suffer in silence. They don't really want to talk about the addictions that they have. And people have many addictions, like whether it's a gambling addiction, a shopping addiction. I mean, just all types of addictions that is not healthy, because even a shopping addiction is not healthy at all. I used to have a stiletto shoe addiction. I just wanted, I had to have a new stiletto shoe every other day, and I'm serious. It became an addiction. Like, I used to sit online and just look and surf for stiletto heels, and that's weird. I did. It was really an addiction. I remember I would go, like, that's around the time when I was getting income tax. And I would go into Macy's and Dillard's, and I would walk out of there, and I would feel a certain way too. I would walk out like, dog, I just went in there and spent like 400 and something dollars on stiletto heels. Like, I would have so many boxes of shoes. And a lot of times I would just wear them a couple times. I just wanted to see my feet in them. Like, it was just like, it's definitely addiction. I just wanted to see my feet in them. That's it. Yep. Anyways, you all, shout out to Miss Sharon, and the name of her book is Quit the Money Pit. It is on Amazon. Quit the Money Pit on Amazon. Okay. Hold on, you all. All right, y'all. I got to get off of here because I got a couple of more things. Well, Steven, you missed it. She just left. She just left. I got a couple more things that I need to do um tonight. Oh, I wanted to talk about Yo Gotti had an artist that um died today. Now, I don't really know what happened. Somebody sent me a message saying that the rumor is that Lil Papa, and I hate that so bad, because some people were saying that before he got into, supposedly before he got into um whatever kind of rap he was doing, supposedly he was like a gospel rapper or something. I don't know if that's true. I just heard some people say that. But rest in peace to him. I hate that. You know, allegedly it was sued to the side. Now, that is what somebody sent me in a message. Um, I don't know if they have actually released what it was, you know. Um, but when I found out, I'll do a video on it. But that's what I heard. Um, hold on. They said Lil Papa dead at 25 days after releasing new music. Stop. Hold on, let me see you all. I hate this so bad. I be hating this for these young men. Why are they showing it? Hold on, y'all. Let's see.
New just in this evening, Jacksonville rapper Lil Papa has died in Atlanta at the age of 25. The Fulton County Medical Examiner confirms Janarius Wheeler was pronounced dead. His cause of death has not yet been released.
Okay, so he was in Atlanta, and she's saying that his cause of death has not been released. So I know a medical examiner wouldn't release his cause of date this early, but I mean, the people around him may have known what, probably do know what happened to him. So if that's out, they may have, released that and put that out. So, yeah, hold on one second, you all. Hello. Okay, you guys, I'm sorry about that. I'm back. That was Sharon. Yeah, Lil Papa was Gotti's artist. That was his artist. And I hate that because I think that they just signed. Lil Papa has not been with them that long, have they? Has he? I don't think Lil Papa has been with them that long. Maybe for about 2 or 3 years from out of Jacksonville. But then somebody said that he was about to be indicted. He was caught up in that, supposedly, allegedly. Um, he was getting indicted or something. Oh, he said he texted me hours ago. Did you? Well, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Anyways, y'all. T Jova. Hey, what's that? Dig Bishop. Yeah, condolences to Jesse Jackson. I want to say this, okay, as it relates to Jesse Jackson's. Yeah, yes, I send my condolences to Jesse Jackson. He lived a long life. He definitely was a part of a lot of historical things that happened in the Black community. Rest in peace to him. Um, my prayer in our community is that we'll get some leaders um, that had the fire and the strength that Dr. King had, that Malcolm X had, because Malcolm X was fearless, and even Dr. King was fearless. He had to have been, knowing that he walked in the valley of the shadow of death every single day, and he just kept going because um, the picture was bigger for him, as it relates to having some type of what he thought at the time was freedom. Even like Harriet Tubman, what she did um, after she was freed, being brave enough to go back to where she escaped from to try and free other people. Sojourner Truth, being brave enough to try and push women's rights and things of that nature. Like, we have a lot of people. We come from that. I always say that we stand on the shoulders of people like that. We come from people like that. Okay, we're the lineage of people like that. So I think what we have to do in order to make our community stronger is we just got to stand together. That's what we got to do. We got to stand together. It's just we can't go around that. So yeah, it's Black History Month normally, and I haven't even been doing it, and it's almost over. But I am going to, and it's funny because I guess Trump has been trying to minimize Black History Month. That's why you don't see a lot of people even talking about Black History Month. It's almost like it don't even exist. You haven't even really been even seeing anyone broadcast anything as it relates to Black History Month. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start back posting pictures of Black excellence every day. I think it would be good to be reminded of where we come from, right, and who we are. So yeah, anyways, you guys, I am going to, it's 8:30. I'm getting ready to get off of here. Listen, I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate everybody that got on tonight to support. That's your boy, though. Don't moonwalk now. Who is my boy? What are you talking about, Steven? He said, that's my boy. What you talking about, Steven? Who you talking about, Big Papa? Oh, he said oh my God, Steven, I didn't see that. Hold on, let me call her back. Let me see something. Sharon, I'm gonna put you on speaker, but I had someone to ask me a question, right? And I didn't see it. He came into the chat. He said, I know you saw my question, and he wanted to ask you this question. Okay, I'm gonna put you on speaker, okay?
Okay.
So he can hear you. Okay.
Okay.
He says, my question is a two-parter. He says, with you being a fellow Memphian and retired officer, what's been the most frustrating aspect about how Memphis has been portrayed on social media as it pertains to the Dolph investigation? Do you feel that MPD could have done more after watching the Hernandez Govan trial and how his lawyer talked so badly about law enforcement in Memphis? What are your thoughts as a law enforcement officer, retired law enforcement officer?
Okay. So my thoughts are, during my tenure, things were done more, but I'm not saying that they didn't take it serious or what have. We put more pride into our work, and it's like the candidates that they recruit now are totally different from when I came along.
Absolutely.
And the work ethics and values are different. The age frame is different. It got so bad one time with the recruitment that they, this time or they were gang members,
Yeah.
And it's nothing against, it's no law against being in a gang, but things come with it,
Yeah.
But basically, once they lowered the bar standards for being a law enforcement officer, that's when all the compromising came into play and all of the lack thereof, professionalism and top tier investigations. And it was just an embarrassment to me, the court system too as well.
Okay. All right. Well, you answer his question.
Okay, yes, ma'am. I apologize. Sorry we didn't get him in.
I know he one thing about him, he definitely, he's one of those ones that eat, sleep, and drink as far as the young Dolph case. And he definitely, I think he goes and he analyzes everything. He goes back after the trial is over and still analyze everything. Now I do want to say this, I know a lot of people had a lot of we worked in there with Dabney. Were you in there when I worked in there with Dabney? Or was that after you left? We both worked with Dabney. Dabney was a good guy. I don't know if I believe that Dabney tried to sabotage the Young Dolph case. I don't believe that, because Dabney was working in GIB. At that time, it was General Assignment. They pulled him over to homicides because probably the lack of experience, because I think Chief Davis is now drop the criteria. Like you used to have to be work as a patrolman for several years before you could even take the sergeant test. I believe 5 years. I don't think 2 years is long enough to be a patrol. I mean, to be, and then go into homicides. You can't do that.
And they lowered the standards, and that's when the problem came in, and it was required that you have apply for sergeant. And
Sharon, your phone breaking up, but
I said, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I said, I know it was a minimum of 5 years. At one point, it was 7. So you got to get the experience in.
And now I think it's 2.
That's ridiculous.
That's the reason. That's why we got what we got now. Because hell, they don't even know how to be a damn patrolman, let alone a investigator.
And a lot of them can't write either.
No, they can't write
or read. Put out good reports, but I'll come on and we do another session on this police department because it is horrible.
Yeah, it is horrible. Yeah,
it's terrible. It's gone to the dogs, as they say.
It's absolutely 100% gone to the dogs. I think they're gonna have to. They're gonna have to get rid of. I mean, maybe they ought to, make Sam Hines the.
They should.
They need to go ahead and make Sam.
He at my thing.
Sam gonna be there. I haven't seen Sam in so long.
Yeah, he gonna be there, and I told my son I was gonna send him the link to watch the video, but you have to upload it first, huh?
Just all you got to do is the link that I sent you. He got to do is just go to Real Talk with Tamara, and he could see the video.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he just called again. I told him, I said, I'm going to send it to you. But yeah, the issue needs to be compromised, and people don't take it seriously. There for whatever reason, instead of, I spoke earlier about how I advocated for the victim.
Yeah.
And how I spent long hours, away from home, and my family, mama on a dying bed, but I couldn't stop till I found that person,
But you had those people like that, like Ron Collins and all of those kind of, like you had those type homicide investigators and stuff, like Tony Armstrong, like you had them type that they weren't going, y'all weren't going home until like until there was, and then people wanted to give tips and shit. I mean, they did at that time, like, because they would be anonymous. Like you had folks calling Crime Stoppers telling, like that. Well, I mean, they did that with the Young Dolph. They wanted Young Dolph case solved because that was real. It was really sloppy.
They would have had their best prosecutors to prosecute that case. They look like they blew that black girl up from I read that case.
Yeah, they went and got her at the Cracker Jack, but I don't know why all those vet prosecutors in the prosecutor's office. I don't know why Steve did that. Those girls were totally docile, sitting there next to all of that experience, because you can't just put anybody up against Manny, who's an experienced, crafty attorney.
Exactly. No.
But your phone breaking up, Sharon. Go ahead and go to sleep, because I know you got it. But we'll come back on here and talk about the police department. We'll do that in a week or so.
Okay.
Go ahead and get you some sleep, because I know you got something else you got to do. So I'll talk to you later.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, you Stephen, you need to honor, okay? You need to honor what you were supposed to do, and you had 2 questions. Dig says, I see they abuse the vetting system. People of Memphis established a community security company and patrol your hood. I mean, a neighborhood patrol watch to assist your Memphis Police Department. Yeah, because I think it was in LA where they took, you cannot not hire anybody. They took it all the way up to the Supreme Court because they tried not to. They weren't hiring people in law enforcement that had a history of being affiliated with gangs. And then, I mean, there are people that do change their life, but I think they took it all the way to the Supreme Court. And you cannot not hire somebody, and that's in all 50 states, just because they have a gang affiliation. That's messed up, because it's one thing if a person was a teenager and they was caught up in gangs, and then as they became an adult, they changed their lives around. You know, I think they say you're never really out of a gang, but they have not been active in a gang since they were a teenager, and they're not active. They're not affiliated with those people. That's one thing. When you got but they get now is folks that are still active in gangs. And that's messed up. And they cannot, according to the Supreme Court, they cannot deny their application just because they are gang affiliated if they pass everything. Anyways, you guys, I got to get off of here because I got something else I got to do too. I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe, okay? I love you all, okay? I appreciate you all getting on. Y'all have a good night.